found the Tony Basilio stream at TonyBasilio.com or on your smartphone or tablet. Another thrilling, chilling, and sometimes spilling edition of the Basilio Show is on the way next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com.
Listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
We're coming to your town. We'll help you party down. We're an American band today on the air. I got the great Cinco with me. It's unbelievable, Andy. Brian Hartman alongside. The question is, now that we get here, right? How and what is the point of summer practice? You have to ask yourself that. These, and I'm going to talk with Watson about this. They don't hit anymore. Tennessee's going to run routes versus air today, or did run routes versus air, which, okay. But it's an interesting thing because your team's together all summer now. They don't leave like they once did. This is not the rigors of, back in Sean's day. They would take these guys and they would come in with flab and, the whole purpose of the camp was to take them and kill them. And then the guys that survived played the season. You go out and lose 30 pounds. I could use it right now, to be honest with you. If I get a flat on the side of the road, I got a tire in my belly right now, around my waist. Which I don't know how that would work to put it on the rim, but it would work. Theoretically. But Sean Sinclair, I want to get into that with Watson. Plus, Tennessee's got to find a quarterback, and do they already know who their quarterback is, and this is just kind of rigmarole here? Rather than naming the quarterback, we already know who the quarterback is, Sean. What is your sense of that, Sean? Do you think they already know who the quarterback is?
I think they know who the quarterback's going to be unless there's a complete meltdown. If you take a look at just the economics of it, you take a look at the potential of it, there's no sense in having George McIntyre be the starting quarterback because you have to think in this day and age, the guy that doesn't get the start or doesn't start the majority or end the year as a starter will probably move on. Well, do you like the upside of Faison Brandon or do you like the upside of George McIntyre? I think I like the upside of Faison Brandon more than the former, of McIntyre. Right? So from that case, I think they would do that. Plus another thing is what if say McIntyre wins, you're going to have a lot of noise, which I don't think he's going to. And I have nothing against the young man. I just think the Brandon kid's a better prospect.
Yep.
But overall, long term, Brandon, I think, gets you to where you want to go quicker and makes you a better team. And I say that because I say that without having seen them on a practice field, so take it for what it's worth. But everything we've heard, and I'm not talking about, podcasters, et cetera, everything we've heard is that, Faison just looks more natural, process is faster, picked up the system quickly. With all due respect to George, he's a better athlete. So I think long term, you'd rather risk George going somewhere, have Derek Baker come in next year, and then just have a progression like that, because you're not going to next year. You're not going to have another battle with McIntyre and Faison. That's fantasy. It's not going to happen.
No, and the days of that are long gone anyway. And the other thing is the thing I'm left with is back in the summer. You heard Heupel say, "Hey, this is the last guy in, first guy in, last guy out," and he said that about one of them, and it was Faison Brandon, who I believe is going to be the starting quarterback. But here's the thing: the other thing I wonder, and Watson's going to join us here in a little bit. And I'm going to ask him about this. If it was his time and his dance floor, when you name that starting quarterback, you wait till the start of the season? Do you do it right before the opener? If you know who the starter is, do you do it now? And then, if you're George McIntyre and you're competing for the job, have you already competed for it? And this is what it is? Or is it a deal where, you're... You still in your mind think, hey, I can still be the quarterback. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? When you stop and think about it. The other thing I want to ask about, Sean, what's gotten into Josh Heupel? No, what's gotten into Josh Heupel at these media conferences, man? He reminds me of a puppy.
My Discord mute was giving me fits here. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. But when you... So we'll get into that with Watson. The other thing I want to talk to Watson about is, in camp, okay, how do you find football players when you're not playing football? What do you look for, Watson? Say you're watching a DB. You're watching a running back. You're watching an end. You're trying to assess on the fly some of these guys. And here's the other thing. Guys are allowed to get better. And what I mean by that is this Owings guy has done wonders with some kids. And they're going to be better players because of it. That's the whole idea behind strength and conditioning. And there will be people who, over the spring in the last 12 weeks, have taken a jump. How do you open your mind and your coaches' minds to what they're looking at when you have a limited exposure to them? And, Sean, back in the day, when would the two-a-days begin? So you have your first... Back in the day, this would be freshman practice right now. The first couple practices would be freshmen getting acclimated, right? Which doesn't happen anymore, but that's what today would be, right, Sean? Back in the old days?
Back in the old days, what they did was the freshmen had a couple of days of two-a-days before they joined the varsity. The way that worked was the freshmen would come in and they would, because there were limited numbers of them, so it'd be freshmen and preferred walk-ons. Let's say either or, but the morning would be dedicated to offense. So they'd want to see what kids looked like on the offensive line, even if they were recruited for defensive line. They just wanted to see what they looked like.
Yep.
Quarterbacks would look at wide receivers. Linebackers would get a look at a running back, etc. They would go through drills, etc. And then the afternoon would be vice versa. Offensive linemen would look at D linemen, and then you're kind of just slow playing them, teaching them drills of how that's going to be. That would go on for a few days, and would culminate with the as the upperclassmen were running their 110s, and that's so many 110s to show that you're in shape. The freshmen would join them, and there would be a big hooty-hoo, meaning you're part of the team. And then the next day, that there would be a combined practice with the freshmen, the new walk-ons, and then the returning varsity. And then they would start. There would be two-a-days, and then then there would be lifting, etc. But it was a full day deal. As you said, how would you know? Man, I'll be quite frank with you. I think everybody on the team already knows who the starting quarterback is. We all clamor for the public announcement, but kids already know. Just like I referenced it before. Will Overstreet said, "I knew a kid could play in the first 5 minutes or the first day or whatever, or he couldn't play."
Yeah.
Those guys know who the quarterback's going to be, and a lot of times the team is told who's the quarterback's going to be before it becomes public to the fan base and to the press. So I don't have any special knowledge of that, but I think everybody knows, and I don't want to question young Mr. McIntyre, but I have not heard the words of somebody that is looking to take the reins from that job and not look back. I've not heard that from him or from anybody associated with him over the past year or so.
So the great Watson Brown's going to join us. I want to walk with him through some of these scenarios. The other thing that's really silly is this thing with the fifth year and the NCAA and the fifth year. And now you've got a deal where you see where Zakai Ziegler is a story broken today where he wants some compensation from the NCAA because they wouldn't let him have a fifth year when they're giving these other guys fifth years. Hey, listen, that's a problem. That's a problem. 12 months ago, you wouldn't let me do it. And by the way, I can't make the kind of money I'm making in college ball wherever I'm playing right now. He's not an NBA player. So I want mine. And by the way, you have yours, so I want mine. I don't blame those guys. Here's another thing. In light of this ruling, right, and this 5-year thing, if you're a Felix Okpara and you're a Tennessee, you're like kicking yourself. And these sports are morphing into something that we don't even recognize. But how nice would it have been in light of that ruling in Colorado? Felix Okpara went in the second round, right? Somewhere in the second round. I'm just kind of spitballing here. Second round, right, Brian?
He went late, and he's with the Washington Wizards, I think.
Yeah, he's gonna be on like a two-way thing. No, I think he's got a chance playing the NBA because he's a rim runner, shot blocker guy, and there'd probably be a place for him. Hey, listen, I like the Washington pickup. And we're going to do a video on the basketball team, some potential lineups. I've kind of gotten some information. I'm going to dig deep. Presented by Gary Sturm. Look for it at a theater near you. Actually, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you'll get all our stuff. Because I'm going to start doing some extra special videos. That's one of the things we're going to ramp up here on the YouTube channel. And there'll be exclusives to the YouTube channel. So, and again, we've got like 5,000 something subscribers. We haven't even tried to do those sorts of things yet. And that's where you grow the deal. And you'll see us grow tremendously from that. But if you'll spread the word, that helps as well. I'm always going to leave 2 scholarship spots open. Tennessee signed a couple big men that they don't think can play. They took a flyer on them because, they wanted to get signed up. And everybody's getting signed up. The reason Tennessee gets Washington is Vandy signed up. In this day and age, I don't sign a full allotment in any of these sports. I'm always going to leave myself open to the courts doing goofy things. And I even mean like a 6th-year player getting eligibility. You can laugh at that if you want. Like a guy that goes to the NFL and gets cut in a camp saying, hey, I want to come back. You can laugh. Go ahead and laugh at that. What's the difference if there's no collective bargaining between a 5th-year guy getting an extra year, Sean, and a 6th-year guy? Explain it to me. What's the difference? Is there a difference? I'm always going to leave myself some wiggle room.
I'm sorry, this mute is killing me. What's the difference between Zakai Ziegler? I know it sounds ridiculous, but what's the difference between Zakai Ziegler and Chris Lofton?
Correct. That's my point.
I mean, if you and again, I know that sounds absurd, like Chris Lofton, 10, 12
no,
years.
this whole
I
thing's
get
absurd.
That, but
this whole
where do
thing's
you cut
absurd.
this off?
I want to play college basketball. I want back in. You can laugh at this if you want, but Alabama threw an NBA player out there last year against us. Now, he sucks, and he can't play, and we rolled them anyway. But Betty Crocco played like 4 games last year with his box tops. Rick Barnes and them, and we're going to do a video on it because when we're talking about their lineups, Rick Barnes and them did a deal where they saw a need. They looked at Vanderbilt's roster. They didn't know that thing was coming in Colorado. That was of no... That just added to the confusion of the moment. They, well, they encouraged the kid to get in court. Did they fund it? I don't know. I'm not saying that. Would I be surprised if they funded it? Let's think here. No, I wouldn't. Because it would be prudent to do that. And by the way, you have the money to do that. I'm not saying they did it. I'm not saying they didn't do it. But if I were them, I'd say, like in the old days, Sean, where you'd go down to Tunica, I'd send his people down to Tunica and get some winnings.
So
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about this clearinghouse, okay? This clearinghouse is the biggest damn joke in the world. If you think that every dollar that's that these kids and their family and these agents are seeing is coming through that clearinghouse, to quote Rob Halford, you got another thing coming. Ote? Watson Brown on the other side. It is unbelievable, Andy. We got so much to talk about, so little time to get there. Cinco's in the house. I'm going to ask him as we go along the national championship question from yesterday, which is to rank those teams in order 1 to 5. Poor Kim Caldwell, her program. Brian, would it be accurate to say that her program finished a distant 5th yesterday?
Yeah, they
like
were
out of the money.
They were
like out of the money.
Runaway winner of the bottom.
Yes. And I do believe that Danny White hired her to do what they're doing. I do believe that. Because that's called, I'm de-emphasizing women's basketball. I mean, that's how else you explain that? You keep her after last season. That's my conclusion. Not trying to be funny, but here's one thing about me. You're going to get up. When you tune this in the world we live in now, it's when you tune it in. It's on your schedule, not mine. But one thing you're always going to get out of me is my opinion. And most times going to either be an educated guess, which that's an educated guess by me, or I've talked to a bunch of people. Now, I have a thought, because I just talked to a couple people about when we can see the quarterback being named, but I want to kick that around with you. When do you think, and in the end of the show, I'm going to reveal when I think it's going to be after talking to some people. When do you think they're going to name a starter? We're going to get to the great Watson Brown. He presented by Simpson's Meats. John Adams will be in here tomorrow. For me, I'm taking a day for sanity's sake. John Adams is preparing a Festivus. He said, Tony, I've got a list of like 150 grievances against you that I want to air. But he wants to encourage you to get your grievances ready. I'm going on about 3 hours sleep right now. I could not. Cinco, you ever had a night where you just can't sleep? Has that ever happened to you?
Because that does
happen to me.
And it's frustrating because you need you need the rest for the next day.
That's exactly right. Well, what I know is in 2 days I'm going to feel awful. Like tomorrow I'm going to just feel that. Today I can go on adrenaline. I can be your adrenaline king. To those on YouTube, I want to show you something. Show you where I'm at, this quaint little city. So this over here, so I'm at a pretty nice place, but this is the Forum right here in Inglewood, California. I'm at the Forum in Inglewood, California. This little community here is called Ocean City. It's beautiful there. There's the Hobby Horse ice cream shop right down the street there. It's kind of an overcast day today. We're right off the boardwalk, like I'm half a block off the boardwalk here. It's really, really nice. And yesterday I sat on the boardwalk and played music for about 3 hours, and I now have to change my strings. Cinco, when you come and you play near the ocean side, it really, 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 and with an acoustic guitar, oxidizes your strings rather quickly. I was talking to a couple people that perform up here. They're like, professional musician types, and they play around here. And they were telling me that ocean water just eats your strings. That makes sense, doesn't it, Cinco? To the players out there, that makes sense to me.
I would think so. I'm not sure. The longest time I used coated strings, but I would imagine if you're outside there, your hands are probably sweating a little bit too. That doesn't help anything. But well, I'm surprised that you're good. I think I saw you with an acoustic. I'm surprised that thing's not warping all over the place.
Yep. Somebody calling himself Sports Goat 54 says NFL teams will tank in 2025 in order to draft Nico. Sports Goat, what does that have to do with anything? What are you talking about? You mean like when we were hyping Nico up 3 years ago, which was totally embarrassing, which I've now learned from? That's why I'm not going crazy about Faison Brandon, even though I do hear that he's a really, really, really precocious kid. But anyway, no, I play 11s. Where's my lanyard? And I use Elixir strings. So I pay a little more. At this point in my life, I don't want to hurt my hands. So I'm like Sean. I play a coated string, and I use 11 elixirs. Here you go. Here's my pack. They're 11 52s. And you pay a little more for them, but at this point in my life, I'm not here to kill my hands. But I am changing my strings today because I got tired of that oxidation, that feeling. All right. We come back on the other side. Poor Nico. Listen, I'm going to have some global hot takes on college football. We're going to do a show on that maybe next week. Global hot take number one, Nico's going to have a great season this year. Nico going to have a great season this year. Global hot take number one. He's going to have a very, very, very good season. And you know what? I'm rooting for him because I feel sorry for the kid because he wouldn't stand up to his father. His father is an absolute nut job. His father, you know when you know, Sean, that it's all about, and then we'll get Watson in here. He's cool, bro. Just hang in. You know when you know that it's all about a parent when they're spending time on social media engaging with everybody. Most parents don't do that, Sean. Have you noticed that? Because they realize, whatever. But you feel me on that, Cinco?
I do. It's. I think you could make an addendum to the goofy recruitment, goofy career, goofy parent, goofy career. If you take a look at not only Big Nick, but if you take a look at, with all due respect, Boo Carter's mom.
Mm-hmm.
For the past year or so,
mm-hmm.
There have been others that have kind of left the rails a little bit. My advice to them is
total disservice.
You may think you're defending your kid, you may think you're doing that, but there's so many nut jobs out there.
Yep.
All you're doing is just hurting your kid when you open your pie hole on social media.
Well, it's just like these idiots here trying to get me going on social media, like on this YouTube thing. I don't care. There's still like 260 people watching. If that's what floats your boat, that's what floats your boat. I am being told we're having app troubles. Your chicken wings will be out here in a little bit. We're having some app problems. I guess you got a side of meatballs since I'm up here with all the paisans. The Goomba. We continue with more Watson Brown presented by Simpson's Meats after this. Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
The High Noon line of hard seltzers is always a winner and always next level. High Noon vodka seltzers come in 14 flavors with real vodka and real fruit juice. Only 100 calories with no sugar added, and it's gluten-free. Personally, I'm partial black cherry and pineapple. 14 flavors. That's as many bad takes as I've got in a week. In the mood for a kick? Try High Noon vodka iced tea in 6 refreshing flavors, including peach and lemon, green tea, and half and half. Feeling adventurous? Check out High Noon tequila seltzer in 6 refreshing flavors, including my favorite, Blood Orange. High Noon Real Vodka. Real fruit juice. Live like the sun is always out. Brought to you by High Noon Spirits Company. Must be 21 and over to enjoy responsibly.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires. Just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776. Or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Baseball fans, it's time to step up to the plate. Look your best. Get some new Tennessee gear from Alumni Hall. Alumni Hall has the best selection. Top brands for you to choose from this season. Look, it's nice and warm outside. So get into any of their 6 air-conditioned East Tennessee locations. Shop online, download the app, grab your Tennessee baseball jersey, your hat, your decal, maybe a t-shirt, and they have so much more. Earn $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Go Vols and shop Alumni Hall, your ultimate Tennessee shopping destination. Touch them all with Alumni Hall. When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk. The Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio show, 10% off your first job. Let's go. Run, don't walk. The Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 free company paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more? Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631. And ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law. Fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
With Gary Sturm. He's with Mortgage Investors Group, making our community a better place every day. Gary, you've been at it 32 years, man.
Yes, Tony, I've been at Mortgage Investors Group for 32 years. We've known each other since, back in the 80s, right?
And we've gotten to know each other recently as our family has gotten involved with another mortgage. Through that whole process, you were a prince, just like Jeker. When he called you at 3 o'clock in the morning after a Tennessee loss, you've been giving your phone number out for a couple decades. And why is that, Gary?
This is the biggest financial decision you're ever going to make. You don't want to trust somebody online, some 800 number. You want to call somebody like myself that's going to give you my number, and you can call me anytime. I'm there to help you. I'm here to help you and your family, and I appreciate that. I appreciate your trust in me. You can call me anytime. You can be like Jeker and call me at 2 in the morning and complain about the Vols just like he did. I'd rather you call me about a mortgage, but that's okay. If you want to cry about the Vols, we can do that too. I'm a Vol at heart. You know that. And if you want to come in and meet with me face to face, I'm here. If you want to do it online, I'm here. That's fine. If you're curious if you can qualify to buy a house, people know the housing market's tough. That's what I'm here for. There's no obligation. You can call me anytime. I get you pre-qualified. Or maybe you've got a mortgage and you're thinking about refinancing. Maybe you want to shorten the term. Maybe you want to go to a 15-year. Who knows? But again, that's what I'm here for. It's what I've been here for 32 years. My number is 865-660-2648. It's 865-660-2648.
Gary Storm at Mortgage Investors Group, going to take great care of you.
Got a plumbing or HVAC problem at home? Whether it's an AC that won't cool, a furnace acting up, a clogged drain, or a water heater problem, Pipe Wrench Home Services is ready to help. Right now, get 15% off any HVAC or plumbing repair when you schedule service with Pipe Wrench Home Services. Our licensed technicians are equipped to diagnose the issue, explain your options, and get the repair done right the first time. Don't let a small problem turn into a major headache. That strange noise from your air conditioner, the water heater that's not keeping up, or the drain that keeps backing up won't fix itself. The longer you wait, the bigger the problem can become. At Pipe Wrench Home Services, we make repairs simple with friendly technicians and fast, reliable service that you can count on. We'll arrive ready to identify the problem and get your home back to normal as quickly as possible. Take advantage of 15% off any HVAC or plumbing repair and schedule your appointment today at pipewrench.com. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free. Restrictions may apply. Eligible for repairs up to $5,000. Visit pipewrench.com for details.
Tina to be back with you. We're having all kinds of audio gremlins today. Gremlins, which is kind of fun. 865-200-5402. And yeah, I was listening to a couple commercials there during the timeout, and they sound all out of phase and whack out. Boy. When it rains, it pours. You know what I mean? When it rains, it pours on the living woolly ones. But we welcome you back. 865-200-5402. And here we are. Shout out to my friends at Comcast. They are often imitated and never duplicated. So thank you, Joey. To my nephew, Joe. Thank you, Joe. Pretty tough crowd, Watson, when I'm over here blaming my nephew who's working in Philadelphia for my Comcast not working. What do you think of that, Watson? And he's listening to the show, too.
Life is like a box of chocolates, Tony.
You got it.
You never know what you're going to get, buddy. You just deal with it. It's just the way it is. It don't matter if it's family or not. You got to deal with it.
Yes. So, Watson, let's talk here. Morning is broken and so is camp. Or at least it's begun anyway. What do we accomplish with these camps these days? And let's start with the quarterback stuff because it's a sexy position, but it really goes for all things. You know, you get a football team, you're trying to get it ready in today's climate, in today's culture. We don't hit like we once did. So I don't know what that does for a team. I want you to elaborate on this. How am I judging who's going to play for me, who's made a move from the spring till now if I'm not playing football? Can you walk me through that? Like what you think these guys are doing?
Well, they know it's a two-way street. Number one, in comparison to the old days, they know more about their guys because they've worked with them in the summer. We couldn't do that. We couldn't be on the field with them. We couldn't have a ball around. We couldn't watch tape with them. I mean, that's a complete different operation, Tony. So they know so much more. Then on the negative side of that, you got so many new faces.
Right.
Weren't even there in the spring. So I really believe that the preseason now is much more important than it was back when I was in my heyday.
Now that's interesting.
You've got to learn a lot real quick, and you don't have a lot of time because you've got to settle on certain guys and get them the reps. The whole piece of spring ball of the preseason is you want to teach them what to do, and you want to rep them as absolute many times as you can before you play a game. So you don't have the time you had in the spring. It's different. You've got to go quicker. And so I think it's more critical now in the preseason than it's ever been because of so many new faces.
Watson, when do you, if it's your football team, okay, and obviously the quarterback battle is the most public of these, but there are several of these on any roster where you're trying to decide between two guys, and maybe there's not a wrong answer, but you just got to pick one. I like one better than the other. If it's your dime and your dance floor, do you take the two quarterback thing into the first game of the year, or do you decide that in camp?
Coaches will never say this. I can say it now. I'm done.
Okay.
You absolutely would love to decide it in camp, but if you can't, you can't. So you kind of cover it up and say, well, this is kind of what we were going to do anyway. That is not a true statement because you would love to say one is our guy. That's why these guys that have the returners, teams are ranked higher than others right now because they know who their quarterback is. And so I anytime you don't know going into the season and you're starting preseason practice, you're begging by the 10th day to know who it is. That's what I always said. If let's try to decide by about the 10th day, which would be around the first scrimmage, somewhere right in there. And then there were a lot of times you can't. You just can't. There's just not a big enough difference in them, Tony. The other positions, all other positions beside quarterback, you can go you want to go into the season with two guys at that position. You want to have a backup that's just as good as your starter, and they're going to play 60-40 maybe, and you know that going in. Because in today's world, with this fast-paced game we play, you can't do it with one guy. So every other position it's a plus if you've got that. Quarterback sometimes is not a plus because your quarterback is your leader. He has to be your leader, along with your seniors, along with your captains. But your quarterback has to be a leader, and when you haven't settled on that guy, two of them being leaders at the same time is not a leader. It's not the same. So it's very important to settle on one. You can play two, Tony, but you can't alternate them. To me, when it comes time, one is the starter and one is the backup. This playing two is the worst thing that can happen to you.
I think it's an interesting conversation you bring up because I was talking to somebody the other day about this. I guess we had a conversation on the air, but I was really talking to somebody off the air about how quarterbacks, it's kind of the one position in any of these sports we follow where he's just got to be different than everybody on the roster.
Yeah.
And I was told that, and I want your thoughts on this. Sean just said this a second ago. Will Overstreet, who was a very accomplished football player in his day and now a great man living in East Tennessee. I love you, Willie, if you're listening. He does listen to the show from time to time. Will said, the funny thing about this whole deal we talk about when it comes to camp and getting to know your players. And like you say, Watson, they get these guys now around the clock.
Yeah.
And it's different. But he said in the first couple of weeks, when a kid first walks out there, he said the first couple practices, you can tell who can play and who can't. He said every once in a while somebody will fool you and they get better and they work in the weight room and they get an opportunity and they become a ball player. He said that does happen. He said, but for the most part with that sport, coaches know, hey, I found one here. This guy's a 3-star player, but he can really play. Or, hey, this guy over here is a 5-star guy. He can't play. I mean, we missed the boat on him. Is that kind of how it's gone throughout your career as you think about when you're unwrapping the presents and you see these guys really for the first time? Some of these guys they are seeing for the first time.
I would say that's partially true. First, I would say not the first couple of practices, but the first couple of pad practices. Yeah, somebody can look pretty good in shorts. All of a sudden, they don't look the same when them pads go on. And so I'd say the first couple of pad practices. I'd also say it by position. You got to be real careful with offensive linemen and making quick decisions because those bodies are so big when they first walk in the door. And I'm talking about freshmen. When those bodies walk in the door, they can change over couple of years, whereas a receiver you pretty much know, a running back you pretty much know, most other positions, but the big body guys, sometimes nose guards, say, oh gosh, I don't know, because he comes in, he's big, we got to change his weight, we got to change his body around, and so be careful on making decisions on the big bodies. Everything else I would agree with him on. But I think it's through pad work. It's not in those shorts. That's why it bothers me when people are taking kids out of camp because they're not in pads. They're in shorts. You're watching somebody play in shorts. Man, football is not played in shorts.
And throwing against air. Like today, you're just throwing a ball against air. Which leads me to this, right? Yeah, I hate to jump on you, but here it leads me to this. Watson Brown presented by our friends at Simpson's Meats. They ship premium meat anywhere in the world. Got a great shop on Level Road. Got a local shop with a bunch of great stuff from East Tennessee. Buddy of mine stopped in there the other day. Said, "Man, they think you're nuts." And my ball knower behind the counter said, "Yeah, Basilio." The guy said, "You're totally a whack job, completely insane." And but he's my ball knower. He loves ball. He's my ball knower. So. Watson, all right, let's get down to the quarterback stuff. Say you got a tight battle, okay? And you come to this point. How do I decide who my starter is when I'm not playing football in the summer? What are you looking for out of that position particularly right now?
Well, you should know talent by then, by summer, unless he just walked in the door. If you've had him through spring ball, you know his talent level. Now you're looking for consistency. You're looking for total consistency. Let's say he's out there and he goes through a Pascal and each one of them throws 14 balls apiece. And what about the time of the ball, the accuracy of the ball? Was it a catchable ball? Does he have nice touch where it is a catchable ball? There so many little.
And there it is. That's what we're having today. That's the polite of the day when the gremlins show up. And they've showed up for us today. If you heard our spot break before, you could hear music in some of them and only voice in some of them. I mean, we're having a day here, Cinco. Cinco, have you ever had a day in the dentist? Have you ever had a day in the dentistry industry, Cinco?
All the time, Tony B.
Yeah. Hey, man, it happens. And when you're flying without a net, it happens. And it kind of is what it is, as they say in the trade. Yeah, man. I just remembered, I forgot about appearing on Plaster Show yesterday when you go away and you go to the beach, it's like a different thing. It's like you get in like vacation mode and you kind of turn your brain off. Laura said, "Did you forget about that?" And I said, "Well, I was out of range." That's going to be my excuse.
Let's try Watson again.
All right, Watson Brown. When you go on vacation mode, man, I forgot about old Georgie Boy Plaster yesterday. I just texted him. Sorry about yesterday. But my real excuse is, Watson, I was out of range.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Does that work for you? Because I told a couple people on YouTube that.
That works.
I told a couple people at that.
Believe me, your boy George has forgot many times, so you're okay. Believe me.
Well, let's go. Let's go. So you believe in a perfect world, they're naming a starter before the season. That's what Heupel wants to do.
Perfect world. That world ain't always perfect, because I've probably had 60 to 70% perfect world who I knew who it was going to be, and I had that other 30 to 40% that I didn't. So I've had it both ways.
Georgie just texted me back. No worries, Basilio. I'm just glad you're alive. Ha ha ha. Enjoy Ocean City. That's well put, Georgie. Because there were rip currents around us yesterday. So. Yeah, in a perfect world. All right, let's talk about other positions. You're Heupel. When you're the head coach and you're mostly an offensive guy like you, but you're watching defense too, right? You care about that side of the ball.
I did. I'm sure he did.
Do you want to say? Do you want to say and who we see on the field? If you see somebody that you really like, do you butt in there?
Absolutely. Matter of fact, it had to go through me to pick the one. That was a big piece to me. I wanted to be a part of that.
All these guys have to operate that way, right? I mean, it's got your name on it.
Not always. A lot of these guys that are more CEO types won't get that involved. And have won many games doing it that way. So it's just my way I was real hands-on, and one of the main things, nobody was ever offered a scholarship that didn't go through me, and nobody ever offered a starting position that didn't go through me. Those two things I wanted my hands on.
Hey, Cinco, what do you think? How do you think Heupel operates in that regard? You think he's going to let his OC do those sorts of things, or DC rather, or do you think he's going to get a say?
As far as what happens on defense?
Yeah. As far as players, playing time, guys he sees in camp that he likes, voicing, hey, I like this guy. Hey, I really, that looks like a keeper over there, this guy, that sort of thing.
I think it's probably a collaborative effort. He probably, if he disagrees with the defensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator probably better have a pretty good reason why he feels the way he does. But ultimately, if you're the head coach, like Coach Brown, the buck stops with you. I don't care how much you paid your defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator. It's your job, because it's your job. Period. You let some guy choose your players or choose your schemes. That's the best way, I would imagine, to find another job.
Yeah, it's and it's a real catch-22. Obviously, during the season, you don't get involved in defense, but this is the one time of the year, Watson, where you really can get involved, right? When it comes to, hey, I like this guy over here, or did you see so-and-so, or whatever, he's had a good summer, look at that body transformation on that kid, or he looks very serious, or I mean, ultimately, you're not going to tell a DC who's playing and who's not. I mean, an OC who's playing and who's not.
Well, it's a decision between both of you, but I was even more involved than that, Tony. I would watch it. We'd start at 6, let's say, early in the week, and from 6 to 7, I watched the defensive practice with the defense.
Wow.
And then we might have a staff meeting, and then I was offense the rest of the day or something like that. I always had an hour a day with the defense, whether it was watching part of practice or it was early in the week as game plan. I would be sitting in, and they would be talking about what they're going to do game plan-wise. And so, no, I was a little bit more involved maybe than some that way, but I did not put the scheme in, but I knew the scheme backwards and forwards. And I might put my 2 cents in the spring and winter when we're putting things together. But that I didn't do, but I knew exactly what was going on. And I could walk in there and watch part of practice and get on the secondary coach if this wasn't the way it's supposed to be. So
Hey,
no, I
Watson,
was involved on both sides of the ball.
does a singular player, because you see in the NFL, free agents come out of nowhere and make teams, you know?
Yeah.
So they come in the spring and they catch somebody's eye, and you're just a free agent. You're a guy off the street, and then sometimes they think you're a camp body, and then you end up on their 53-man roster, or you end up on their other squad, which is you're part of the team. Can that happen in college, where you literally from right now till the beginning of the season you catch a coach's eye? Or is there just not enough meat on the bone practice-wise and not enough opportunities reps-wise to even do that?
I think it happened more in my time than it does now. You're bringing in so many new bodies now that you know before they get there. And we'd bring in walk-on kids. Walk-ons was such a big part of my time through different places I was. I had 3 straight centers make all conference at UAB that were walk-ons. All 3 of them came in as walk-ons. Now, they were recruited walk-ons. We knew them. But so I think that kind of guy showed up more in my time than it does in today's world, because they're handpicking so many of these guys, and they're bringing so many new faces in. We couldn't fix something quick in the old days. You just couldn't do it. What you had's what you had. Your quick fix was trying to run to junior college and get somebody, and that was, boy, you talking about flipping a coin. That was dangerous because you had to do it quickly. So it's just a different world that way. I think that they have more opportunities to find guys because they have more bodies that have played football and been good players that are just walking in the door.
Pretty interesting. It's going to be quite a fun camp to look at and to hear how these things develop here, there, and everywhere. Most of the hay's in the barn. I'm not really sure compared to what used to go on in the sport. As Watson said, this time of the year, and Watson, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you said it's almost like you know what you have. It's about getting sharp and getting ready from here, right?
I think you know what you have is talking about your quarterbacks that have been with you. You know their abilities, but which one now is going to be more consistent? I do think that preseason now is more important than it used to be. Because a lot of your guys were returners. You had them in the spring. They played for you the year before. You only got 25 new faces probably on your team. All of them are freshmen, just about, maybe 2 junior college guys. Now you're bringing in 40 at a time, and they all maybe a whole bunch of them are older kids that you've seen play at the school they're coming from. So that's different, but putting the team together, I think that I quit hitting as much in my latter 10 years of my head coaching career, Tony, because of injury. But what we do is we'd hit one day, we'd be out in pads again the next, but we might not have any kind of teamwork or half lines as much as more individual contact. I think these coaches are learning how to hit off and on to where they keep them healthy, but you got to keep hitting. You cannot go out there if you don't get your players pad ready. You had to run them all summer to get them ready to get pad ready. And if you weren't in shape before you came like that, you couldn't get pad ready because you've already pulled a muscle probably before you put the pads on. But now you've got to get them pad ready, and they got to hit each other to put those pads on and get in shape and have that contact and get off the ground and go again. And so I don't think they're going to quit hitting. They're going to figure out how to do it. And then not do it a little bit, then come back and do it again to where you don't just hit them like we used to in the old days. You just line up and hit all practice. And I had to learn the hard way. You can't do that. You have too many injuries.
Does it ever come back where we see more hitting in camp? I know that's kind of no.
I can answer that quick. No, it'll never get more But these guys are hitting more than you think. I'm telling you, they are. You're over here doing a middle drill or a half line drill, or you're doing something. There's more hitting. If you just go and really watch, there's a lot more hitting than you think there is.
Of course, they won't open it to anybody. So
no, they're not going to open that. But the offensive linemen are hitting somebody just about every play. Now, I just learned to control it, and what I thought got me in trouble was hitting too long, too much, too long. So in my latter 10 years, I said, okay, we're going to hit heavy today. Tomorrow will be much lighter. Next day, we're going to hit heavy again. And so I do it that way. And I didn't get near the injuries I was when I just line up and go. Said, we got to do this for 3 weeks, boys, or we won't be ready. I look back and say, no, we didn't have to hit that much to be ready to go.
It's going to be really interesting to see what we have for us. And how this thing plays out. But Watson, it's great to talk to you.
Well,
my
the
friends
last thing let me say real quick, Tony. Everybody talks about the quarterbacks. I think the big question mark's defense. I can't wait to see what happens on the Tennessee defense.
Yep.
A lot of money has been spent over there and bringing a new guy in and all the pieces. We talk quarterback, but if Tennessee doesn't have a really good defense, they're not going to be in the playoffs. So let's watch that really close and see how good they are.
I had a friend of mine.
They got over last year.
It's interesting. I had a friend of mine where I grew up who went to Penn State, big Penn State fan. He's my age. And he was talking about Penn State's acquisitions, or Tennessee's acquisitions from Penn State, rather. It was like a crossover there, with Knowles. Mm-hmm. And Knowles brought 3 players, and he made a really good point. They brought defensive tackle, who's a really good player. They brought a middle linebacker who's going to wear the dot, be the quarterback of the defense, who already knows the defense, 1 year in it. And then they brought a safety, middle of the field guy. He said, if anybody has a chance to buck the Knowles, it takes a year to get his offense and his concepts and all that. It's this group, because they have 3 coaches on the field, along with 3 coaches, or maybe even 4 if you count the defensive coordinator, that they brought with them from Penn State. Yeah. If anybody has a chance for a quicker transition, a more smooth transition, it's this group. I want your thoughts on that. And he said, hey, and if you're going to have 4 new players or 3 new players, put them all right in the middle of the field, because those are the most important spots out there. Down through the years, we've learned anyway. Of course, you better have some corners, as we know, because it's a perimeter game.
As I grew up, I don't know if it's as much now because corners and defensive ends have become so big because the game is so much more wide open. But I was always taught you build your defense and your offense from inside out.
Yep.
Starts with the center and the quarterback. You go guard and tackle, and then you're running back and you're fullback, and that's the way I was taught. You build it inside out. But what I see that he's done that I think is really going to help him, your 2 adjusters are usually one of your safeties and one of your linebackers.
Yep.
They make the adjustments on your total defense and the checks and the different calls. And there's so much more than a defensive call, because once they break that huddle or whatever, there's adjustments coming right and left. I mean, so the call is not the big piece. It's the adjustments that you've got to get lined up right to what they're in, and then a quick motion, what do you do, blah, blah, blah. And that was always done with safeties and linebackers. So he's going to have those 2 guys that have been in the system. I understand the system's pretty complicated, but very, very good. And I can't wait to watch. I think that's the big key, that along with the quarterback. And I think because of the quarterbacks, that's not been talked about enough.
Watson, I love you. You're a man. You're a gentleman. You're a scholar. And you get it done every time you're on here. And Simpsons Meats, you let me know. You say thy word. It is on the way to you. They will ship premium meat anywhere in the world. And Watson, when I say since 1888 on Jim Simpson's farm, they're continuing a tradition, raising their stock on pasture, on purpose, and you will taste the difference, Watson. Am I fibbing when I say that today?
I don't know what they do in raising their cattle or their meat in different forms of meat that they have, but it is unbelievably good. Whatever they've done, Other people need to figure it out and copy it, because there's not a better piece of meat goes in your mouth than those guys.
Go! Go! Watson, you're my man. I love you. Thank you.
Love you guys.
So I'm beachside, and it's kind of raining out here, and it makes it louder. As Watson Brown appears on your high noon hotline, and somebody said, Basilio, what's up with your sunglasses? And the answer to that question is it's high noon somewhere, and the sun's up. Kick back, we pop a top. You know, you're at the beach, man. Just sit back and relax. Ease the seat back. What song is that, Cinco? I'm going to sit back. I'm going to relax. And ease the seat back. What song is that, Cinco? It's like a Van Halen tune. I know it is.
Panama, baby.
Panama. Anyway, high noon, the hard line of seltzer, always a winner. 14 flavors. I want to ask Cinco about something real quick. Related to those guys. 14 flavors, real vodka, real fruit juice, only 100 calories, no sugar added. It's gluten-free. And I also want to remind you, High Noon vodka as well, iced tea. It is next. 6 refreshing flavors, next level, including peach and lemon. And then the High Noon tequila, 6 refreshing flavors. You got to check out Blood Orange. High Noon, real vodka, real fruit juice. Easy for me to say. The sun's live like it's always out. Brought to you by your High Noon Spirits Company, 21 and over, and you must enjoy responsibly. Cinco, what do you think of our guy, David Lee Roth, canceling the rest of his tour, and then Sammy Hagar reaching out to him and said, hey, jump into our residency in Vegas? What do you make of those two occurrences, Cinco?
Well, I think Diamond Dave is. I think he's ran his race, and he's been. There's no sickness that I can uncover. I think it's just a lack of interest, and so he kept the Sturgis offering just so because it should be a captive audience there.
Yep,
his peep, so to speak.
Yep,
and then 1 second. And then, I've always thought that, like him or not, is he David Lee Roth? I don't think he is. He's a better singer. He's obviously a better guitar player. I like David Lee Roth's songs better and lyrics better. But Sammy Hagar, if you go back and read his book, Red, I mean, he's always been a gracious fella.
He's terrific.
Came up from a. He had a hard childhood coming up. Dad left. Dad was a boxer, beat him up.
Terrific.
And he's always, and truth be told, he's made way more money in alcohol sales and restaurants than he ever did selling music. So I think he's always been a gracious dude. It doesn't surprise me because David Lee Roth has taken every chance to rip Sammy Hagar through his life, just based on insecurity, and Sammy's just taking it. And the Van Halen brothers did Sammy dirty too. That's a fact. And I'm the biggest Van Halen sheep that's ever walked the earth.
Let me tell you something about the Van Halen brothers. Those two guys left a lot to be desired. Leave a lot to be desired. Alex is a real prick. No offense to him. Obviously Eddie had his problems, but he's just so brilliant. Alex is just so unlikable. Sammy has taken the high road with them. The way they did the Anthony guy, who's so intricate to their sound, and basically cut him out and made him like a hired hand or whatever after the fact. I mean, and here's the thing, Cinco, these guys have generational wealth on top of generational wealth, but we're just going to cut this guy out of some money just to do it. Like, that's what I don't understand about when you're that wealthy and you have to screw people. It's like, you already got yours. I mean, we're not.
Well, not only that, that's one thing. But then Ed went, and again, he had his problems. I mean, he's just like any other genius. He had his demons and all that. I'm not making excuses for him. He jumped the rails several times in his career, but nonetheless. But when he came out and started talking about how he would have to play bass, he played bass a lot of the times, and implying that Michael Anthony
diminishing
play the bass parts, and
right,
and then he was replacing him. And I like Wolf. I went to see him at Mill and Mine a couple months ago. He's fine.
Nice.
and a good songwriter, multi-instrumentalist. He's great. But that was totally unnecessary. If you didn't want the guy in the band and you just wanted to milk your son up there, that's one thing. But to run Mikey down like that's bull crap. I mean, Michael Anthony's harmonizing of David Lee Roth
exactly
is what made their first 4 albums scream.
Yeah.
And he was always a good time guy up there. He didn't try to steal any attention from anybody. They did him so dirty. And you're right. Again, I'm the biggest Eddie Van Halen sheep ever, but those brothers did him wrong. And then Alex cozying back up to David Lee Roth, who is a known PRIC. You know what? I mean, everybody knows that.
Oh, he's the worst. You can't. I wouldn't trust him
because Alex has burned every bridge.
I wouldn't trust him.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and you know what? His book or whatever he put out is like it's always somebody else's fault. That's what I love about people like Alex.
Exactly. I mean, he didn't even talk about his brothers. He didn't even talk about his baby brother's problems.
Thank you.
At all.
It was
at all.
It's all. So it's all everybody else's fault. I'm always leery of people that won't own the fact in any walk of life that, hey, you know what? We're all flawed. We all have our own baggage. We all bring it into wherever we are, and you have to be self-aware and acknowledge those things. Like me, very undetail oriented, 5 minutes late for a legal ID, driving Brian crazy. More after this.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Tona B, inviting you to experience the Collins Insurance difference. And what's that? How about multiple top carriers that you can trust? Like Erie, they underwrite our entire Rainier studio and everything around it. Travelers, Hartford, Hanover, Progressive. We do what's right because we care. In today's technology-driven world, maintaining the human touch, Bruce Springsteen, is one of our main focuses. We deliver the best customer service humanly possible. We give you someone that you can actually call or sit in front of. Imagine that. No call centers here. Experience the Collins Insurance difference. Check them out at collinsinsurantetn.com, and they're Mrs. B approved. Collins Insurance. TB with a few serious questions. You feeling tired? Foggy? You gaining weight? Or you just don't feel like yourself anymore? Hormone therapy is finally becoming mainstream, but it's truly something my man, Dr. Tom Rogers, has been doing for over 20 years. Dr. Rogers at Performance Medicine wants you to feel your best, and he treats both males and females. So guys, we can do this as a family. At Performance Medicine, hormone therapy is personalized to you. If you're dealing with hot flashes or mood swings or low energy, decreased libido, fatigue, muscle loss, stubborn weight gain, it might be time to find out what your body really needs. No shame in this game. You can do something about all the above. Performance Medicine offers customized hormone treatment plans based on comprehensive lab testing with options like pellets, creams, patches, oral medications, and injections. The goal is simple. Help you feel like yourself again. Next level. Make your life better. Take it to the higher plane. Visit performancemedicine.net. Schedule your consultation today. You'll feel your best with Performance Medicine.
Big news, Basilio family. Get ready because the 2026 Knoxville real estate market is officially shifting into high gear. All signs are pointing toward a record-breaking year, and the energy across East Tennessee is absolutely electric right now. Whether you've been dreaming of finding that next home, looking to capitalize on your current equity, or ready to dive into the investment world, the timing has never been better. Having a game plan is the key to winning in this fast-paced market, and I'm ready to help. Give me a call, Jennifer Morris, at 865-6 694-5904 or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Basilio here with the great Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, I can hear it in the background, brother. It's World Cup season, and you guys are in the middle of it. Talk to me.
We are excited. Our U9 through U12 trials just kicked off today for our locations in Knoxville and in Johnson City. So we're ready to offer any player top-level competition, top-level training anywhere they want to be in Northeast Tennessee. In our programs, we offer competitive play for anywhere from 9-year-olds to 19-year-olds. We've got two locations. Our location in Knoxville is kind of our home base, and our location up in Johnson City in the Tri-Cities area is our FC Alliance North. Both locations are growing tremendously, and we're excited about what the future holds here at both locations.
Growing the beautiful game in the season of the World Cup. Chad Stockton, how can folks get more information?
Go to our website, FC Alliance or FCAllianceNorth.org. And both locations, we're happy to serve the beginning player or the more experienced player, because what we will promise is the top-level training and top-level leagues that we can play in for all of our players.
Growing the beautiful game in Knoxville and now also in the Tri-Cities. FC Alliance. Thank you, Chad Stockton.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm going to hop online and I'm going to get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
When a dangerous, overgrown, or storm-damaged tree is threatening your home, your car, or your family, don't risk it. Call ECR Total Landscapes, your local tree-cutting experts. From precision tree removal and trimming to emergency storm cleanup, ECR Total Landscapes has the equipment and the experience to get the job done safely and efficiently. Call today to set up your free estimate, 865-384-2012, or just go online to ecrtotallandscapes.com.
The High Noon line of hard seltzers is always a winner and always next level. High Noon vodka seltzers come in 14 flavors with real vodka and real fruit juice. Only 100 calories with no sugar added, and it's gluten-free. Personally, I'm partial black cherry and pineapple. 14 flavors. That's as many bad takes as I've got in a week. In the mood for a kick? Try High Noon vodka iced tea in 6 refreshing flavors, including peach and lemon, green tea, and half and half. Feeling adventurous? Check out High Noon tequila seltzer in 6 refreshing flavors, including my favorite, Blood Orange. High Noon Real Vodka. Real fruit juice. Live like the sun is always out. Brought to you by High Noon Spirits Company. Must be 21 and over to enjoy responsibly.
Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good.
Nothing makes you realize how much you rely on your air conditioner like a scorching hot day in East Tennessee. You want more than a technician. You want someone you can trust. Schedule Pipe Wrench's $79 AC tune-up now because the heat is here. Our certified technicians inspect, clean, and fine-tune your HVAC system to help it run efficiently and reliably while reducing the risk of breakdowns when you need it most. And while we're there, we can also recommend ways to improve your indoor air quality for cleaner, healthier air throughout your home. For more than 20 years, homeowners across Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and surrounding communities have trusted Pipe Wrench Home Services for dependable comfort. And with our same-day service guarantee, you won't be left waiting when comfort matters most. Schedule your $79 AC tune-up today at PipeWrench.com. Same-day service guaranteed, or the visit is free. Offer valid on standard systems only. Visit PipeWrench.com for details.
Basilio here with my buddy, Connexio Kristen.
Hey Tony, good to see ya. Connexio builds fleet technology that helps transportation and logistics companies win big. Live GPS, easy ELD and compliance tools, AI dash cameras, and asset tracking, all backed by the #1 U.S. customer support team. Want a better playbook for your operations? Visit Connexio.com/Tony. That's KONEXIAL.com/Tony. Connexio, built for drivers, trusted by fleets, and proud Vol fans.
Only 2 homestands remaining for your Knoxville Smokies, and next week is a huge week. Free hot dog night on Tuesday. Yep, all you can eat hot dogs all night long. Then Wednesday is all you can eat for less than $20, and that includes game ticket. Knox Vegas Thirsty Thursday with half off draft beers, and the weekend, make sure to grab your UT gear and head to the ballpark on Saturday for Tennessee night. First 1,000 fans receive a Deshaun Bishop bobblehead. Get your tickets now at SmokiesBaseball.com.
All right, Senko and Brian Hartman, question for you guys and the living listener, 865-200-5402. My name's Tony Basilio, welcoming you back. This will be my final radio offering of the week. I'm working during my beach trip, which is really not healthy. But as Beano Jeff Henderson said the other day about me, he said, whatever, Tony. You're just going to do you. And for me to take a couple days off is hard. And pretty pumped up. Pretty pumped up. Pretty excited about it. And, Sean, when is a starting quarterback named?
I would say the last possible moment before a game week. So a game week would be, we would call the way it's been working here over the last several years. You have a mock game week, and then you have a game week, and then the game week is the week immediately before the game, and so I think it'd be the last moment before maybe a Sunday or Monday or whatever.
So you're talking about the real season opener or the Georgia Tech game? The real season opener or the Georgia Tech game? Which one are you talking about?
Real season opener. Real season opener. The fans would have already, the team would have already known.
Yes. You'd said something I think is pretty profound that I meant to ask Watson. The team knows who the starting quarterback is right now.
Absolutely, they do.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I guarantee you receivers know who they want to be the starting quarterback.
That's what I'm saying. Right. And if you choose the wrong guy, you can lose the room. We've seen that happen.
Well, I think only if it becomes there are extenuating circumstances. If you have a guy, let's say you have a guy that's been around 3 years, he's kind of earned it. Jerry Colquitt type, let's just say. Yes. And then you have a young freshman that's just dynamite. We saw that at Clemson.
Yep.
You're gonna have they may know what the future is,
right?
But you're gonna go play safe until you can't play safe anymore.
That's a good point.
Just
Lawrence
because that guy means a lot. He's been there. It's just now he's got to be talented. They're not going to throw some clown out there that's just been there 3 or 4 years.
Brian, what do you say? When does it happen?
I think it's got to happen 2 weeks before the start of 2 weeks before the first game, and that is to give the number one guy all the reps with the first team that he can get, especially if it's a true freshman. So I think you got to give him at least 2 weeks.
And the Kelly
Bryant, that's kind of with all due respect, that's kind of an outdated deal. simply because they run so much half line, meaning that for a lot of times the quarterbacks take the exact same amount of reps.
Mm-hmm.
Now maybe it's different in ones versus two scrimmage if they do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But the kids, you take a look at watch some of these things that those quarterbacks are firing off passes. What they do is they'll start on the right side, they'll throw a pass, they'll go to the left side, where another guy is jumping into the right side. It's a conveyor belt of them throwing the ball. So both he and McIntyre are going to get plenty of reps.
The other thing is when you're not scrimmaging with the ones like you do, Sean's right. Everybody's going to get reps. Rusty Staub's going to get reps. You know what I mean? Going back to that 2018 season, it was interesting because here's the thing. Trevor Lawrence was a true freshman. This kid here, true freshman. Kelly Bryant is a guy that came back to Clemson and had Kelly Bryant played a bunch. At that point, he had been at Clemson from 2015 through 2018. He spent 2 years as a backup to Deshaun Watson, but he was kind of a known quantity. He actually got on the field. He actually led the Tigers to the 2017 ACC championship. He actually led them to a spot in the college football playoff where they lost to the eventual national champion Tide. That was a 12-2 football team. But the problem was, and Sean's right about this, the other guy was clearly better. And there has to be a sense of the team knows. And when they put Brian's guy in, the guy we wouldn't let play, who, I kind of like him. He's got at that point he had sort of this androgynous, he looked like David Bowie out there playing. He looked like one of the spiders from Mars playing quarterback. Brian, what do you got to say to that? Your quarterback right now looks like one of the spiders from Mars, Brian.
Yeah.
How do you plead to that?
Gwyneth Paltrow, I've heard all of that.
Yeah, he does look like Gwyneth Paltrow. You know who he really looks like? Could be his body double. The girl that was so fancy. What was her name? I'm so fancy. The Australian lady. Somebody help me out with that. You already know. Who is that lady? The I'm so fancy person. That's who your quarterback in Jacksonville looks like. But Cinco, at that point, that was sort of, what would we call that? That was sort of undeniable or inevitable that he was going to play for Kelly Bryant.
It was. And Coach said something earlier about, on two quarterbacks. I think the way it can work, is if you have guys with different skill sets. Like, it could work, and they could both be happy. Because remember, Tebow came in when he was a freshman, a lot on third downs and goal line situations. And he kind of knew his role. Lawrence may have done that too, or if you have a guy that's a Lamar Jackson type, no one's Lamar Jackson, but that type is a freshman that can do that. Then they both see their role, and then the younger guy can expand a little bit. But that's where I've seen it kind of work, and they're both happy at that point.
Hey, Brian, by the way, where did Kelly Bryant transfer? See how good you are, Brian. Do you remember? Because I'm so
He went to Missouri and played against the Vols. That
is so good, Brian.
Second year with Pruitt that Tennessee won up there.
So good, Brian. He was what
hey guys,
you call...
when does DJ Ukulele have his court case to get another year?
He was so bad. Isn't it funny how you can swing and miss on some guys, Cinco?
Oh, we've and it's not just Tennessee.
No. You can swing and miss on quarterbacks. Yup.
And then the other funny thing is that when a high 4-star or 5-star doesn't do it at a school, there's always another school that thinks they can unlock him. and they never do.
Oh yeah. That ukulele guy got so many chances. Didn't he go to the West Coast and perform decently, and that's why Florida State thought
Oregon
it'd be a
State,
good
I think.
idea? And Florida State thought, yeah, let's hitch our wagon to him, and they went out and won, I think, 2 games that year. But that was Iggy Azalea, Bri. That's what I'm going to refer to your quarterback from now on, who gives me the Iggy. The Iggy Pops.
I thought that was a catchy tune.
I love I'm So Fancy. That's a great jam.
Yeah.
And a cup of Grey, cup of Goose. I said, I'm so fancy. That's a good little jam right there. Nothing wrong with that song. I think Charlie XCX helped her with that. Who dat? Who dat? That do that, do that, do that. All right, let me go to our phones here. 865-200-5402. If you want to get the hunt and in the mix with us, we're kind of pumped. Who's up next? Let's see. A man who knows a thing or two about the beats and the rhymes I say. Rapper Andy freestyled for us the other day. Hey, Rapper Andy, when I was sitting over at Dos Equis at lunch with those guys Friday, they were talking about your Wizard of a Word. And that's what you heard. Because you were next level, my friend, on Friday. Andy, how we doing? Didn't you tell me he was on hold, Bri?
Andy?
Andy?
Let's see who's there.
Yeah, I'm here.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Actually, I thought I'd do a little bit of surprise today since it's start of fall camp. I mean,
Yep.
we might as well just put a little track out on that. So.
No, we're going to do a track on the air with Cinco? You want
Yeah.
Cinco to grab his guitar?
I've been working on this for about 2 days, actually. So I had planned it because I knew I'd be off I'm off on Wednesdays now, so.
Cinco, would you track up with Andy a track like Eddie Martinez used to, the session guitar player that played on the Beastie Boys and the Run DMC stuff? Eddie Martinez, the great New York session player. Would you track up a track with, take him over there at your studio and hook the Pro Tools up? And what do you think, Cinco?
I'd consider it.
Andy'd be a good man for you to do that with. Andy, what you got? Talk to me. And when do you think they name the starter, Andy? When will the starter happen? What do you think?
I think it'll be Faye.
Sugar. Oh, I know it's going to be Faison Brandon, but when's it going to happen? When's he going to do it?
I mean, I'd say they'll probably give it a couple of weeks or whatever. But real quick, George McIntyre's character is huge.
It's a great kid, man.
He understands that everything happens for a reason, and that he's trusting the staff. And we know he'll get some playtime. I think he'll get some playtime. If Faison gets, way up in the scoreboard, and I'd say Hype will let him, have some time and stuff. And so, it's just exciting, but I agree one thing. We all want to know, how is the defense going to be?
Yep.
That has been the biggest problem. And it's nothing to our players. It's just, I don't know what the problem was. I don't know. Tim Banks, as a person, is a wonderful person. I've talked to Tim Banks a couple of times when he was at Tennessee, and I have nothing bad to say about Tim Banks. Like when Smokey was having issues and things, like he would, hey, how's Smokey doing, and this and that. And when he, I took him down to Calhoun's, to ball calls, and he he was like, "That's a beautiful dog." So him as a person itself, I think him and Coach Goulash, that's where he should be at. I really do. But
I'm gonna tell you
really,
something.
really
I'm gonna tell you
excited about
something.
Paul.
I'm gonna tell you something. You shouting him out and calling him a dog lover. I got time for that, Andy.
He as a person again.
Yep.
You cannot ask for a better human itself. Very soft-spoken, very respectful. Still has a lot of love for Tennessee.
Yep.
He does. Even though he's with Coach Goulash at Auburn.
Yep, Coach Goulash.
He has nothing bad to say about Tennessee.
Hey, Brian, let me ask you something about Coach Goulash. Are you buying or selling his first year at Auburn? Brian? He's brought a bunch of guys with him.
I got to sell it. I think they're a 6-6 type, 7-5 type. I'm not sure I would have bought him staying at Central Florida.
Coach Goulash?
Yeah, just with the
Andy,
way
how
some
about
of
you?
his-
Where are you on him? Where are you on Coach Goulash, Andy? In terms of you're stepping up in class. You brought a bunch of your players with you from the lower division. What do you think?
I mean, look what he did at UCF alone. I mean, dude, he did not do bad there.
No, he didn't.
I mean, he was dangerous at some point. Like, I think he's at a university that wants to give him what he asked for. And I think that might be something that USF had a problem with. They didn't want to give him everything that he asked for. But Auburn, we know Auburn has no problem, sometimes giving what they're asked for. So.
You know what's weird about Auburn? Hey, Sean, let me ask you something. And Andy, I want you to get your call and then bust a rhyme for us. Hey, Cinco, back in our day, I cannot believe you would tell me there become a day where you could legally pay these guys, okay? And Auburn, of all teams, Cinco, would struggle to find footing. Auburn, of all teams, in the last decade, if you take the 2020s, 6 wins is their high water mark, Sean. Sean, you get, in the SEC, 4 guaranteed wins a year when you make your schedule out. 4, if you're Auburn. 6 wins? Sean, how has that happened?
I think the reason they're struggling a bit is they're probably in fatigue.
Yeah.
You had whoever you had before. You had the Harsin guy, which was a total joke.
Oh, that was a really good hire. Yeah.
Then you bring in the Reverend, and everyone thought was that heck he beat Saban twice.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a perfect fit. That went down in flames.
Mm-hmm.
And then so what do? They go get a guy, and I have nothing against the comrade, but they went down to South Florida to get a guy who was okay, but that frankly that program just miles and miles ahead of most of the schools in their conference as far as funding, talent, location, facilities, etc. And so I think what's happened is even Yellowwood, I think all those boosters are like, what's the point? This is just, I mean, is this guy our Derek Dooley? Is this guy our Butch Jones? Is this guy our, Jeremy, I can't remember his last name, Pruitt? I think they're just in that run of losers like we were in. And I'm not saying he's a loser. I'm saying I think that there's apathy in the fan base and in the booster ranks.
Andy, the thing that's wild about Auburn, too, is that they don't scare anybody because Ravano Freeze, who got another one, ball player after ball player at Ole Miss. And if you think that the number 1 receiver who comes from Paterson, New Jersey, wanted to go, now, Mark Columbus, close your ears. Close your ears, okay? If you think that guy went down there because he wanted to hang out at the Grove, I mean, How did they not have more players? He didn't even try in the portal.
Yeah.
He acted, and then the players they got out of high school sucked.
Yeah.
And then their one portal acquisition was that quarterback that we saw. That Nico, I'm always going to leave you game against Oklahoma. That featured the worst quarterback play I've ever seen in the Southeastern Conference in a game involving two signature teams. No way Tennessee and Oklahoma should put that kind of quarterback play on the field in that particular game. I mean, that was dreadful. Our guy was bad, and their guy was worse, Andy. Was worse.
Yeah.
Kind of ghoulish, if you ask me. But, Andy, you ready to bust a rhyme? And what does the rhyme involve here?
So it's well, I mean, it's kind of like part of the Basilio show. It's got part of the fall camp. So it's got Faze in it. So yeah, it's got all the necessaries in it.
I absolutely cannot wait. I'm gonna let you just track it yourself here. No beatbox, no nothing from me since I'm beachside, and
all right.
I'm giving my last half hour here to High Noon. So you're on the High Noon hotline and you're bussing it. Hit it.
All right. BFS swag here on the Basilio show. Welcome to the fall.
All right, hang on. I can't. No, stop. I can't resist. All right, now that I know your meter, I'm just too team oriented. And Cinco, am I making this about me if I beatbox over him, or am I making this about us? Now, Cinco, you're a fellow musician. You tell me, brah. You call me out like we're at practice here. You tell me, Cinco.
I'm all about that beat.
All right, here we go. Andy, give me the first line of that again in the meter you're wanting to do it in. Go ahead.
BFS swag here on the Basilio show.
Gotcha.
BFS swag here on the Basilio show. Welcome to fall camp, Tennessee. Once all the smoke, they gonna make all the other teams choke. Tennessee put on the muscle in the games. Gonna put a lot of teams in pain. Faye's gonna go in a rage. Throw them bombs and dimes. It's gonna shine. It's his time to shine. Let's go.
Rap Randy, that was next level, dude.
I appreciate it.
Next level. Now, do it unencumbered. I'll shut up this time. Go ahead, hit it again.
Oh, I thought you were done with him.
Brian, you blew up an artist after the man poured his heart out in lyric like that.
He said he was done.
Excellent work, Brian.
Beaker Basilio, I think's cracking on me, said, where's a Comcast outage when you need one? Salty Vol said, what are we doing? Basilio's Beak said, Bride just flushed the guy. Rocky Top Ruckus, you're getting some love here. Andy online says that your lyrics moved him. Auburn leads the Tennessee series 29-22-3. That is correct. Look, how Auburn, and here's the thing about Alabama. Sean, repeat after me. Alabama is a diminished program. Yes or no? And they're going to fall back this year. And Auburn's still not making headway, Sean.
Yeah, I'm not ready to throw dirt on Alabama just yet. I think they got a great coach. They've continued their recruiting well. I understand their NIL is not what some others are, but I'm not ready to say they're going to the middle of the pack quite yet.
We come back on the other side. I'm going to ask Sean to rank Tennessee basketball, Lady Vol basketball, men's baseball, women's softball, and Tennessee football in order of worst to first. Who's going to win a national championship first? So we're going to start with Queen Kimmy's in the 5 slot. Everybody yesterday put poor Queen Kimmy in the 5 slot. Did you see where they lost, Bri? They lost their star 3-point shooter from Liberty they got, right? She's already down with an injury. That's horrible, man.
Yeah, and that she was going to be a pretty big piece of what they're trying to do.
Poor Queen Kimmy can't catch a break.
That seems to happen to coaches who aren't going to make it.
That's right. She doesn't have luck in the first.
Dooley lost Justin Hunter, and that was it for him.
Say, if Hunter didn't get hurt that year, Dooley might still be over there. Oh! Andy, that was incredible. Much love to you on the ab. Anytime you want to express yourself on here, you add to the program, like some of our signature callers, the Titans, Bills of the world. You got it done. By the way, Andy, if you want to, Andy, you can call in tomorrow and rip me during the John Adams hosted Festivus against me. One day a year where we let our hair down like real men and real women and blast me on this show with my name on it. I want Cinco to rank those on the other side, and then I want to give you a couple of talking to some insiders in hoops with this kid's Washington, the Tennessee just. I got to ask Cinco about too. I got to ask Cinco about Josh Heupel dropping his Gnads in the press. What is going on with Believe and Believe Hype? What is going on with that? And you hear the way I'm saying one? I get back to Tennessee soon as we continue with more on the other side.
You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contracting. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
He doesn't always drink beer, but when he does, he definitely prefers Dos Equis.
That's right. The most interesting man in the world has returned, and he's more interesting than ever before. His phone is addicted to him. All of his teeth, all are wisdom teeth. So raise a Dos Equis to the man, the myth, the legend. And remember, stay thirsty, my friends. Dos Equis, enjoy responsibly. 2026 Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Chilio here, and you know my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's National Award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery, so you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from me. Online at carnesmotor.com, Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company.
Like our 2026 football Vols, score a T3TD every time with T3 Vodka, Tennessee's premium vodka. Handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. Right here, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Quality around here isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. And T3's filtered 10 times. 80 proof of vodka delivering a smoothness unmatched. This dedication to excellence has earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades, like a 5-time gold medal award-winning vodka and your SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner as well. Whether you're sipping it neat, on the rocks, mixing your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka, your choice for a premium award-winning experience. Be like Maury Hanks. Score a T3TD. Ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, and score a T3TD all 2026 long. Tennessee's Premium Vodka. T3, Tennessee's Premium Vodka. Distributed by Empire Distributors of Tennessee.
Big news, Basilio family. Get ready because the 2026 Knoxville real estate market is officially shifting into high gear. All signs are pointing toward a record-breaking year, and the energy across East Tennessee is absolutely electric right now. Whether you've been dreaming of finding that next home, looking to capitalize on your current equity, or ready to dive into the investment world, the timing has never been better. Having a game plan is the key to winning in this fast-paced market, and I'm ready to help. Give me a call, Jennifer Morris, at 865-694-5904, or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Basilio here with the great Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, I can hear it in the background, brother. It's World Cup season, and you guys are in the middle of it. Talk to me.
We are excited. Our U9 through U12 trials just kicked off today for our locations in Knoxville and in Johnson City. So we're ready to offer any player top-level competition, top-level training anywhere they want to be in Northeast Tennessee. In our programs, we offer competitive play for anywhere from 9-year-olds to 19-year-olds. We've got 2 locations. Our location in Knoxville is kind of our home base, and our location up in Johnson City in the Tri-Cities area is our FC Alliance North. Both locations are growing tremendously, and we're excited about what the future holds here at both locations.
Growing the beautiful game in the season of the World Cup. Chad Stockton, how can folks get more information?
Go to our website, FC Alliance or FCAllianceNorth.org. And both locations, we're happy to serve the beginning player or the more experienced player, because what we will promise is the top-level training and top-level leagues that we can play in for all of our players.
Growing the beautiful game in Knoxville and now also in the Tri-Cities. FC Alliance. Thank you, Chad Stockton.
Thanks, buddy.
TB here for Cedar Bluff Plumbing, a live and local company that's been serving our area for over 32 years and counting, because every customer counts, and I mean no job is too small. Cedar Bluff Plumbing just voted #1 by City View magazine because multiple plumbing experts are on call to serve all your plumbing needs. Chances are there'll be a plumber in your area when you call, and they won't send some salesman to your house. You're going to get a high character, trustworthy, highly trained plumber who will serve you, not like some of these guys that look like they came off the set of America's Most Wanted. Cedar Bluff Plumbing is Basilio tested and approved and will go the extra mile for you because Chucky Mack is a servant of the people and my consigliere to the throne, celebrating over 32 years of serving living volunteers. Cedar Bluff Plumbing. Call 588-4448. That's 588-4448. Cedar Bluff Plumbing.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
All right, it's raining here, ladies and gentlemen. You can hear it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It's a quick little cell going over us here in beautiful Ocean City. Cinco, what do you make of Josh Heupel all of a sudden just, shall we say, growing, dropping, getting some stones with the media? Obviously, he has a sentiment. He's a competitive guy. He's a football coach. He's a man. I mean, obviously, he ain't afraid to say a few things. But in front of the media, he's been basically a drone since he's gotten this job, and he sort of drones on and on and on and on and on. And then yesterday he showed up, and he had a real clean look about him, and he was really pissed off, and he called the ruling bullshit, which is one of my favorite things that has ever come out of his mouth because it was real. It was real.
Yeah, I don't think it was orchestrated or thrown out there for effect. I watched it. It seemed to be. It came from the heart. I think. I really think this. Because he's been surrounded. I'm not saying yes men, but he's been surrounded by the same group for a number of years, with an occasional guy that's been moved on or whatever. But now that when he has Owens in here and he's brought in new defensive guys, obviously the offensive guys are the same. But I think that the new voices in the room, the new experiences, the new ideas, I think it's kind of given him a little, lift in his shoes like Butch Jones there. And I think he's okay. I think he's okay right now with his position. He could turn up a turkey this year, but I think he's relatively safe as head coach of Tennessee. And you seem to watch some of these other coaches pop off, whether it's Golding or whether it's Lane Kiffin or whomever. And I think he's more comfortable just with his voice out there. I don't think it was fake. Like when I hear stuff like from PJ Fleck or Butch Jones.
Yep.
I think someone's written that down on a card for them, and they're reading it.
Yep.
I thought that was a bit of. I thought that was just a genuine moment from his part, and I didn't take it as a curse word. I took it as it is what it is, but I took it as a coach that was fed up because it's nonsense. It's just absolutely nonsense. There's so many other things that are out there, and I thought his explanation was great too. In this day and time, you're penalizing a guy. Essentially, he was going to get the same penalty that the cat at Texas Tech was going to get.
Correct.
That doesn't. I'd like to think that I would have the same reaction if this was a Kentucky or Vanderbilt quarterback. I don't know because I am biased, but it makes no sense. It just makes no sense, and I don't know if there's some back channeling going on. I do believe what you've said before, that Danny White has aspirations bigger than Tennessee, and he's not going to rock the boat that much. But I do wish Miss Plowman would step in and go to court about this, because I think it's a very easy winnable case.
It's extremely easy, but here's the thing, and that's another thing that frustrates us, head coach. The administration don't want to lift a finger to help a guy that he knows is a quality enough kid to take to SEC Media Days 2 years in a row. And here's the other thing. If this kid was a future multi-million-dollar earner in the NFL, they'd be fighting for him. But he's a guy that's probably, with his way his feet are, he's probably a guy that's going to play here this year and maybe have a cup of coffee in the NFL if he's fortunate. And so you've got that kind of working here as well. Josh Heupel is exactly right. And I love the thing he said about Kiffin. That's college football. You make your fans laugh a little bit. You have fun with the moment. You show you have a personality. Hey, these kids like you. You're a very good football coach. You connect with people. You're allowed to show us that. You are allowed and encouraged, Josh Heupel. If he keeps it up, Sean, I might start taking his Monday press conferences. I don't think I will. Here on the show record.
Here on the show.
You know what I mean? Because time is
precious. Now that he's got his voice, I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him utilize it like Kirby Smart does with the officials. I mean, this is the guy's 6th year. He's been to a playoff. I mean, sometimes you got to get out there, and Lane Kiffin hasn't coached in a playoff. It was his choice, it was his choice to leave. But this guy's got a pretty good resume, and he's relatively safe. I think it is time for him to find his voice with regard to the refs, with regard to the conference, etc. You don't have to be a jerk about it.
Yes,
but I do think I do think you can fight for your guys, because I do believe he loves his guys. I truly believe that,
and I think he loves that Carter kid. I think that's what he's doing here. I don't think it's orchestrated at all. I think it's a head coach telling this kid, "Hey, look, I don't ever say things like this in public. I've never sworn to a microphone in my life, kid. I love you." And I totaled it up. That's 16% of this kid's season that he's going to miss for what? If he would have done this, as Adam Sparks told us last week when he broke the story, if the guy would have done the same thing in basketball, he'd be welcome back. Basketball is such a joke that you had a guy that was on basically in NBA practices last year that flew down to Alabama and played against the Vols. Now, I know he's a G League guy, but he was kind of going back and forth. Look, this kid is a great kid. The NCAA should be bending over backwards to accommodate a young man like that guy, and not because he plays on my team. I agree with Sean. If that would have been Kentucky, Alabama, Florida, any of these teams we despise, Vanderbilt even, I'd have said that's ridiculous. You're going to give him the same penalty that you were going to give a guy that was betting on games he was involved in? I mean, you talk about the emperor having no clothes. And you talk about something that needs blowing up. And you talk about people that need their keys taken from them before they go out and hurt somebody. That's the NCAA. You talk about a bully that needs to be checked and needs to be decked and needs a good swift kick in the nads. So,
John, real quick, rank
now.
your teams. Rank the 5 teams.
Sean, rank your teams. Lady Vols are 5th in terms of winning a national championship next. Who you got, Cinco?
What are the 5 teams, please?
Teams that can win a national championship, Sean, at the University of Tennessee. Who will be the next?
From most likely to least likely.
Most likely to least likely, Sean, to win a national championship. Who's won? The next national champion.
I'm going to say men's basketball, and I'm fully aware of Coach Barnes's history there. However, the commitment that I've seen lately from the boosters indicates that he's going to be given every chance to do it. I'm going 1.
All right. Who's number 2 on the list?
So 2. Again, I think that given her history, it's probably unlikely, but you never know how these things can go. She's been so close and just seemingly has an off night. I'm going to go softball.
That's a very credible number 2. Number 3?
Number 3, I'm going to, because I'm a sheep of his, I'm going to go Elander and the baseball team, because I think they are stacked and packed, and I'm extremely impressed. You know, whoever ranks these things just gave him the number 1 transfer class and the number 3 recruiting class. The transfer class was not about Vitello. That was about Elander and his guys there. So that gives credibility. So I'm 3 there, football 4, and I still can't believe Kim Caldwell has a job, so I'm going to put her at 5.
a.k.a. Queen Kimmy. By the way, shout out to Taylor, who over on the blog today at tclub.team/TonyBasilio.com, a great, and I mean great piece on the work that Josh Elander and his staff did. And I remember at the end of June, we were sort of panicking, and that's okay. Because one thing about doing this is when you have an opinion, you have to have an opinion at that moment. And early on, they got off to kind of a slow start. I kept reminding myself and this audience that the last few years under Tony, their moving month was July, and that's exactly what they did here. Elander and those guys threw the pedal down in July and never looked back. And I mean, they went 0 to 250. They went like the old quarter mile days up in Englishtown, New Jersey, right up the road from where I'm at right now, or Thunder Valley, when they used to go in the quarter mile before they modified it. But Cinco, thank you. You're Sean Sinclair, DDS, beautiful Maryville. Check him out. He loves you. Brian Hartman, thank you. Don't you dare participate in Festus, Brian. I'm going to listen in. William Pattison in the playbook up next, followed by Dubsy. Appreciate you. Peace.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
Put your hands together, meet and greet the great Maury Hanks as he's in here now. And Brian, he's joining us through the app with Matt Dixon. Maury, how you doing today?
I'm doing fine, Tony. I hope you're keeping your shirt on up there at the shore. There's got enough scary people like Ed Stefanski that's